Hello. So today was a deadlift day. So still following the juggernaut program, and I started off with a warm up all the way to an over warm up is what I call it now these days. Till 80% of my training max, and this is just something I do just to make sure I'm still touching heavy weights while I'm still doing the juggernaut program. And I mean this warm up felt fantastic. I think the 80% is very well chosen. I like the way he moved. I liked my form of that one. I liked how I liked the speed on the movement. It was sort of like challenging enough to where I feel like I'm, getting enough of a stimulus from it, but it's not too challenging where I feel like, it's affecting my actual working sets. And also, given the fact that my working sets for this week were about 65%, I think 15% above that for a single is not too crazy. I mean, given that I'm going to be doing 65% for sets of 5 by 8 with an AMRAP on the last set. Yeah, so I then went right into the juggernaut specific training. So today is the accumulation phase of the eights wave, and what it calls for is 0.65 per, 0.65 or 65% of your training max uh for 5 by 8. But on the last set, you're meant to do an AMRAP set, and that's just what I did. So this first few sets were just 315 or 4 by 8. So I really like getting different angles of my deadlift. So yeah, the phone fell on that one, but I really like getting different angles of my deadlift. To make sure that you know I'm executing the exact form I intend to execute. So I mean, some things I like to pay attention to is, what is my back doing throughout the motion? Like another thing I like to pay attention to is also how my hip rises at the start of the motion. So generally, I think for the highest efficiency, you want your hips to rise as the bar is rising. I try to also pay attention to that because I mean, if your hip is rising, quicker than the bar, then that is just wasted movement, and that also means you probably weren't um in a in the most mechanically advantageous position to initiate the lift. So I like to look at that too, look at how well I'm pulling the slack out the bar. That's why I like to get the front, the view from the front, because you can quite easily tell from the front how well you're pulling the slack out of the bar. You kind of see you see sort of like the bar just flex. I mean, I'm not working with high enough weights where the bar actually bends or anything, but like you can actually see the bar hit almost like the top of the internal part of the weights. And yeah, this was my AMRAP set, my as many reps as possible set on the deadlifts. And this is 315 pounds, just like the previous sets. And that's me just hyping myself up a little bit over there. I was feeling great this morning at this point. I mean, generally on the lower body stuff, I feel pretty good. And I was still feeling good at this point. That sort of like changed a little bit in the middle of the workout, but I mean, at this early point, I was feeling great. I mean, I like the way everything was moving. I like the way my single moved. I like the way my eights before this AMRAP set moved. And yeah, I was sure I was gonna, do something good with this. I was really going to, I was going for, at least doubling the minimum prescribed reps. So the minimum prescribed reps for this set is 8. So generally you wanna smoke 8. You wanna do more than 8. So I was trying to see if I could at least double that. And I was trying to say, okay, like maybe I could get at least 18. So I was saying something between 16 and 18, which is a pretty tight bound. But I felt really good. I felt like I could do it. And I got 17 on this set. Yeah, I mean, I think maybe I could have done one more, maybe, but I think generally, at least on the accumulation phase, I like to leave at least 2 reps in the tank. I don't want to like fatigue myself or my CNS, too much. But overall, I like the way that set went. Yeah, I like the way that set went in general. And yeah, after this, I then do some conventional deadlifts. So I do this 3 by 10, so 3 sets of 10 reps each. and I've been just, steadily increasing the weights I've been working with. So last week I felt good. I decided to put it up to, 308 pounds, which is pretty much three blue plates on each side, which is quite a lot, especially for me, given that conventional isn't my primary stance. It's not my competition stance. But yeah, I felt really good last week, but I would say this week it felt a whole lot heavier. I mean, it's probably because, I'm working at heavier weights for my juggernaut training. I do think I'm gonna, acclimatize to the weights soon, but I think for now this was pretty heavy, but I'm gonna still stick with these weights and just just yeah, just power through them, like I mean, it took me a while to even acclimatize to, 275 for sets of 10 in the conventional position. So, I mean, I've just been, slowly increasing. I'm just gonna keep on slowly increasing, just stick to this weights for now. I think in general, I like the way they moved. I do think I could have, just generally stayed a little bit tighter in my lower back. It's hard to explain what I mean. Like, I almost kind of like want to, have a little bit of a box in the lower back, especially on the conventional deadlifts. And on some of these reps, it seems like that box is, compromised a little bit. But I mean, maybe it's just because I'm working at, the weights are pretty heavy for me, especially for sets of 10. But overall, yeah, I mean, generally, I really like training these conventional deadlifts. I just like how it feels, I just like how, and I feel it also, transfers a little bit into my sumo. I mean, there's some arguments that sumo transfers a little bit more to conventional, because we see some of the top sumo pullers being able to pull ridiculous numbers conventional. But then some of the top conventional pullers can't do the same in sumo. I mean, maybe it's just because of the mobility requirement for sumo. But I mean, I really like training conventional, and I'm definitely gonna do a block of conventional pulls in the near future. So maybe something like, March, April, I'll start that, after my competition. But yeah, it felt really good overall. I will say right after that set, I was a mess. Yeah, I was just feeling nauseous. I was, very lightheaded. Um, yeah, I mean, I did what I did last week, and the same thing happened last week. So it's something I need to, really pay attention to. Um, Yeah, I mean, what I just did was just decided to just, lie down for a little bit, try to get blood to get into my head. I think what is happening is my blood pressure is, my relative blood pressure is dropping. So, I mean, you can think about like if I'm, intra set, so within the set, I'm staying super tight. And I'm doing quite a few reps too, so I'm staying super tight for quite a long time. So, I mean, there's pretty significant blood pressure buildup. So the pressure goes high, and then right after the set, once you release that belt or release all the tension, then the blood pressure can drop significantly. So I think that is what is causing my lightheadedness. It might also just be because I'm not eating beforehand. So this was an early morning workout. I don't have these problems when I do my squat days because with those ones I go in the evening. So maybe because I'm more hydrated, I've actually eaten stuff throughout the day. But this one I just sort of like wake up and pretty much just go to the gym with my water bottle. So maybe I need to just eat like a slice of bread, have some electrolytes, just do something beforehand. But I definitely need to pay attention to this. Or maybe I just shouldn't go in the mornings, but I'll figure it out though. But after the pause squats, I then went into, these hyperextensions are these. I think these are more so hyperextensions. Without my body being fully extended, but you got to do what you can do. I mean, eventually, I think with more training, I'll be able to, do the full thing with my torso fully parallel with my legs. But that was a good day overall. Had a great workout. Besides the terrible tiredness after, with the nausea and stuff. But yeah, looking forward to the next week. I think I'm gonna, really smash it. So yeah.